Wayne Alexander, chatting to Pugilistic Anima Club. So we were talking the other week about, when we talked about my friend Tony Robinson, he was blessed with what you had. You were obviously I think you were probably more of a puncher in the amateurs than you were in the pros, which is very hard. You don't see a lot of knockouts in amateur boxing. Now, I'm a big believer in when you have that kind of raw power, you can't train that. When did you knew you had it?
You know what? From when I started boxing, from the age of 11, I was hurting boys and sparring. You know, when I had my first 4 amateur fights, I stopped 3 of them. You know, in the first round. So from a young age, I knew I had the power. It was natural. You're right. You know, being a puncher, most of it is natural power.
I mean, does it not take a lot of energy because you're loading up?
Yeah. A few times, a lot of times I was told to not rely on my power, which I did do sometimes.
Because I think watching your fights, right, you were like Nassim Ahmed.
Yeah.
He that power got him out of jail a couple of times. He was losing to Manuel Medina. There was 1 or 2 over there, and I think you've done. I watched 1 or 2 of your fights recently, and I think, you know what? If someone was clever enough to stay out your way of the power, you would be capable of being outboxed.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, a few times I was outboxed in amateur. You know, and sometimes you miss power shots. It takes a lot out of you. You know, it takes a lot of stamina away from you when you miss shots.
And I was talking to David Walker the other week, and he said, did you break his nose with 16-ounce gloves on?
Yeah. I'm not proud of it, so I don't know why he's repeating.
That's your mate as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, at the time we weren't mates, you know. At the time we weren't close.
But 16-ounce gloves on as well.
We're talking about year 2000.
All right, okay.
Lennox Lewis gym.
Yeah.
In East London. And he'd only been pro for a couple of years. You know, and he was with Mick Hennessy, and he was down there.
I mean, he obviously was on the GB squad of John Pearce and all that, and. Were you really gung ho in sparring as well?
Was I
gung ho? Like,
yeah, I mean, looking back, I did rely on my power too much. Don't get me wrong, he got me out of trouble most of the time. But I could have made myself more. I could have, relied on my jab a little bit more, the power. But when you know you can land a shot and knock somebody out, you do rely on it too much sometimes, you know.
And I mean, obviously, there's sayings in boxing like why, you don't get paid for overtime, why stand there for 12 when you can get it. Did you know sometimes that, right, this is going 1 round?
I didn't know, but I always believed I would stop my opponent. From the end of my junior career, from the age of 16, 17, I was that confident that my fights weren't going to go the full distance. I always knew it'd be a matter of time before I stopped with my opponent.
And obviously, did you ever have fights where you were like loading up and you were missing? Because when you miss, that takes a lot out of you, doesn't it?
Sometimes as an amateur, I lost fights. I remember boxing for England against Denmark. The year I won the ABAs. I wasn't 100% fit, but I was fit enough to fight. I remember I lost the fight on points because I couldn't knock him out. I was trying too much to knock him out, and he was outpointing me.
When you won the ABAs, how many fights did you have to the title?
Five fights.
And 5 knockouts?
Yeah, 3 of them in the first round.
Really? Because I know I was talking to Mike Lundner, I think he'd done the same as well.
He was a good fight, Mike, wasn't he?
But yeah, I personally think you can't be trained to hit. Yes, you can. You twist your shots, and there's an old saying, Wayne, right, which is the last thing that leads you is your power. Jim Watt said that's all wrong because you're not fit, your snap's gone. What's your opinion on that?
I believe what you say is true. The last thing you do is the power. I still think now I've got the power to somebody out. I can last about a minute now in a fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My stamina is gone, my fitness is gone, but I still believe I've got the power. So,
and you could still hit as hard even today?
Yes.
Right. No, Wayne, always a pleasure, mate, and we've put 1 or 2 of your fights on our channel. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Keep it up, yeah?